Hello students, my name is Dr. Navanita Sharma and this video is about the Ahom polity. So when it comes to the Ahom monarchy, it ruled over parts of northeastern India and they ruled for nearly 600 years. So the Ahoms have greatly contributed in political integration and economic development in Assam, specifically in the North Brahmaputra Valley. And also the Ahoms had diplomatic relation with almost all the tribes in northeast India. So the importance of Ahom monarchy in Indian history is great. When it comes to the time period of the Ahom kingdom, they ruled over the Brahmaputra Valley, mostly the eastern part of Brahmaputra Valley, from 1228 AD to 1826 AD. So this was the phase or time period, and even after that, even after British occupation, they briefly ruled over Upper Assam or eastern part of the Brahmaputra Valley from 1833 to 1838 AD. So Sukafa was the founding monarch. So when it comes to the background of Sukafa, it is believed that he migrated to the Brahmaputra Valley from Southeast Asia. So we do not have specific information about his like the origin of his family, but it is believed that he migrated from either South China near Yunnan or northern Thailand and traveled to Assam via Myanmar. When he reached Assam, he had around 1000 followers and he decided to settle in the Upper Assam area or Eastern Assam. The Ahoms consolidated themselves in the next 100 years. So in the first 150 years of rule, the Ahom monarchs used to collect taxes from the peasants, also from the neighboring tribes. So they also defeated many contemporary polities, and some of these were local chieftains, some of these were kingdoms. So they defeated these kingdoms to consolidate their political power in the region. So we can name a few chieftains like Chutia, Tipam and Kamata. These were the local smaller kingdoms that existed in this time, and the Ahoms had constant quarrel with these small kingdoms, and they most of the time they subdued these kingdoms and collected taxes from these monarchs. During Sudangpha or Bamuni Kaur's reign, which is the late 14th and early 15th century, the Ahom capital was shifted to Charaguya from Charaideo, and this was also a cause of contention between the Tipam and the Ahoms. However, the Ahoms dominated the Tipam and shifted their capital to Charaguya. During Dihingya Raja or Suhungmung, so the king's name is, his Hindu name is Dihingya Raja and his Ahom name is Suhungmung. During his reign, most of the territorial occupation took place and the Ahoms consolidated themselves politically. Dihingya Raja defeated the invaders from Bengal and occupied Kortoya region in Bengal. So basically he also managed to defeat the local rulers in Bengal and extended his influence towards eastern Bengal, towards the eastern part of present-day West Bengal. The Brahmanical influence was also visible. Actually, Brahmanical influence on the Ahom started during Bamuni Kaur's reign. Bamuni Kaur or Sudangpha was raised by a Brahman family, and that is why he is called as Bamuni Kaur. And during his reign, the Brahmanical influence started and it increased with time. During Susengpha or Pratap Singha's reign, which is the early half of the 17th century, we see that the consolidation of Ahom kingdom and Ahom polity further increased, and it was not simply political but also economical. So basically a political economic consolidation happened. So when it comes to polity, Pratap Singha had fought with the Mughals and protected Ahom territories from the Mughal occupation. The Ahom-Mughal relation was actually to a great extent depended on the relation between Kos and Mughal rulers. So in case of Kos kingdom, it was further divided into two parts, Kos Bihar and Kos Hazo. The Kos Bihar region was under influence of Mughals and Kos Hazo region was under influence of Afghans. The Kos Hazo region, which is now in present day Western Assam, here we see that the Ahoms also had influence. to prevent or to protect Mughal areas and Mughal interest in this region, the Mughals used to attack Ahom territories. So basically, the Kos kingdom played a kind of a buffer area between Ahom and Mughals, and often they became a cause of contention also. So during Pratap Singha's reign, we see that there were quarrels between Ahoms and Mughals. Also, Pratap Singha's reign is important for the Khel system. So this Khel system was introduced by Pratap Singha to consolidate the pike system. So there was this tradition where all able-bodied male in Ahom territory had to offer some kind of service, and this was both in context of agricultural service as well as military service to the kingdom. And they were organized under a khel system where there were different goats, and these goats had 4 households. So each goat contained 4 households where all the adult able-bodied men had to offer their service for a certain duration in the year, and rest of the time they can work in their own field or they can do their own craft work. But for a certain duration of 3 months in a year, they had to serve the kingdom in lieu of paying taxes. This khel system played an important role in raising or in creating a solid economic background for the monarchy. So Pratap Singha is credited for both political and economic consolidation of the kingdom. And after Mughal conquest of Kamrup, Kamrup is an area in central western Assam, and this area often was occupied by the Mughals most of the time, and the Ahoms used to fight with the Mughals over this area, and it compelled the Mughals to retreat. So most of the time the Mughals were defeated by the Ahoms. So the Ahom were victorious in the battle, in the decisive battle in 1636, and the Treaty of Assurur Ali was concluded to set the boundaries between the Ahom kingdom and Mughal empire around Kamrup area. The Ahom-Mughal conflicts did not stop here and continued throughout the 17th century. Ahoms broke the terms of the Treaty of Assurur Ali, and Jayata Singha occupied Guwahati. Guwahati fell in this Kamrup area. So in retaliation, Aurangzeb sent Mir Jumla to Assam, and Mir Jumla occupied Ahom capital Gargaon, which is in eastern India, eastern Assam, in 1662. So Ahoms at this time agreed to pay war indemnity. However, they again revived themselves, and during Chakradhar Singha and Udyaditya Singha's reign, the Ahoms again defeated the Mughals. And in the Battle of Saraighat, the Ahom general Lachit Barphukan played an important role. He defeated the Mughals in this battle in 1671, and after that it was decided that Hadira or Kandahar Chowki will be the Chowki or checkpoint between Ahoms and Mughals, and this checkpoint was for all kind of transaction, not simply for the passing of human but also for passing of goods. So this Kandahar Chowki also played a part of trade outpost for Ahoms and Mughals in this area. This was followed by internal conflict. So we see that in the late 17th and early 18th centuries, the Ahoms had internal conflicts, and there were these conflicts to assume power in the kingdom. These conflicts were ended to some extent by the beginning of Tungkhungia dynasty of the Ahoms, and this is the last dynasty. And this dynasty was started by Gadadhar Singha. Gadadhar Singha was a capable leader, and he brought some level of stability. He protected Guwahati, which is in Kamrup area, by appointing an official called Barphukan. So this Guwahati is the same place, and this is in Kamrup area. And this Barphukan was appointed in this area to check any intrusion of the Mughals. And in the Battle of Itakuli, again the Mughals were defeated in 1682. And the Ahoms this time extended their boundary towards Manas River. So this Manas River is in present-day Barpeta area, which is even the western side of Kamrup. So they further extended their kingdom in this time. In case of internal dispute, because the Ahoms faced internal disputes not simply from the officials but also on religious grounds, because when Shankardev was a medieval Bhakti saint, he was a Vaishnava, and during his time he lived in the 16th century. So in his time Vaishnavism became influential and many Ahom rulers started following Vaishnavism. But Gadadhar, who started Nungkhungia dynasty, was a Shakta, and it had caused some amount of displeasure amongst the officials who were Vaishnava. Gadadhar's son Rudra Singha was also a Shakta Hindu, but he also patronized the Vaishnavas. So he tried to create an amiable environment in the kingdom, and this did not end the discontentment amongst the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas had an institution called Satra, and this Satra institution was also established by Shankardev, and the inmates of this Satra, they started revolting against the kingdom. So one ethnic group called Moamoria, and they are also called as Moran or Mayamara, these Moamorias rebelled against the Ahom monarchy. And in this time, Ahoms had to seek help from Barkandaj and also from the merchants active in Bengal. So these merchants were both Indian and European, and in case of Barkandas, they were Indian and they were armed sannyasi or fakir. They were basically mendicant group who were armed. So they were kind of freelance. So they would help any kingdom or any group where there is need of help. And they were also very barbarian. So they were they created a lot of plunder in Assam when they were invited to Assam to cull this Moamoria rebellion. So it had created this further even more discontentment amongst the people. However, after this Barkandas rebellion, this Moamoria rebellion and the intrusion of Barkandas, there was another problem that the Ahom kingdom faced, and it was the attack of the Burmese. This attack happened due to internal quarrel amongst the Ahom officials. So some Ahom officials invited the Burmese to help him, acquire the Ahom throne. In this time, the English East India Company entered or intervened in Ahom polity, and they fought the battle with the Burmese, and the Treaty of Yandabu marked the end of Burmese occupation over Ahom territory. So the western side of Assam was occupied by the Treaty of Yandabu. The eastern side of Assam was reinstated under Purandar Singha, and it was for a very brief time. It was only for around 5 years that Purandar Singha ruled over Upper Assam. By the Treaty of Yandabu, the Ahom polity or the Ahom monarchy came to an end. However, when we look at the kind of relation of the Ahoms with neighboring areas like with Mughals, with Burmese, with Naga or Chutia or Kamata, we see that it was eventful. And actually this turbulent relation with neighbors, where there was war and there was also peace and trade and prosperity. So all of this comes together in forming a region where we see ethnic diversity, and at the same time we see complexity in the polity of this area. Thank you.